he starts sending her gifts from England to where you're standing. One of those gifts happens to be the plant seeds of indigo. That's a plant that makes blue dye that makes your blue jeans blue. Some of you are wearing it right now. You didn't even know it. When Eliza got her seeds, she didn't know what to do with it. She actually had to learn from her servants how to keep it going. When she figured out how to keep it going, because it's not always warm here, she learned how to make the dye and moved it to a cash crop plantation down by the Stony River, got a hold of her dad and told him, rice plantations are going downhill, we're gonna make a killing with the indigo. And now we have an international businesswoman during colonial times. It's something absolutely unheard of. So that's the boring business stuff of Eliza. Let's get into the weird shit, because that's why you guys all showed up to come see me. So what's going to happen is I'm going to give all of the communication devices a set of focus questions. You can either say these things out loud, or you can just focus on them. Either way, there's no right or wrong way to do this. Also keep in mind, we have 2 cameras running, my voice recorder, and it looks like 4 communication devices. If Don is asking a question, it might actually go over to Allison. We don't know where it's going to fall. Even if it was just 2 people here on the tour with me, we would have at least 2 communication devices. It's just the way I like to operate. So let's kind of go through the red spirit boxes first. So Donna and, oh my God, why am I losing your name all of a sudden? Sarah. So I was doing really good. You guys had to compliment me. Thank you. So the 2 of you are going to have the same set of questions. You're going to focus on Eliza's death. She's pretty open about talking about it. But the 4 major questions that we get answers to: how old were you when you died? How did you die? Where are you buried? And which president was a pallbearer at your funeral? So again, 4 major questions that are not yes/no questions. So what'd you hear? You gotta shut this. Shotgun. Shotgun. Okay, so I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna write it down. So if it means anything, it'll be in your notes. Next set. So Allison and Lisa, your guys' devices are gonna almost work in tandem as well. You're gonna be looking for Eliza's initials in order. No anagram. I want them in order of ELP. The reason why is because there are 2 Eliza wives named 2 wives named Eliza from Charles, back to back. The first wife also had a maiden name that started with the letter L, so she is also an ELP. You're hopefully going to get the maiden name. That's kind of how that one's going to go. Matthew, your device, the mansion's not here. Can you see a mansion up there? Because I sure as hell can't. I'm here every damn night. It still hasn't shown up. You're going to be looking for what happened to it, and if you get the what, we would normally get 2 or 3 numbers from the date of when that tragedy occurred. Your device only gives us 1 to 2 syllables at a time, as I'm sure you've already noticed just by listening. So hopefully you're going to get the what happened to it, and then hopefully the date, but it could show up anywhere else. So you're going to let me know all of the silly things that you're going to be hearing, and definitely tell me all the silly things like shotgun. You don't know what's going to stick. I'm still withholding even more information than what I've already told you guys. So I am going to spread you guys all out, and kind of I'll do a round robin with everybody to see what's happening. Allison, you're going to stay with me for just a minute or 2, and any other numbers I need to know about?
It went to 30, like just a few seconds.
So now your baseline here is just going to be a 25. So anything above a 25, you're going to let me know what's going on, okay? Perfect. So the average here, by the way, is like 18 to 22. I normally see a spike like that over here, probably 5 out of 7 nights a week, and we're already well beyond that. So I got to write down that 30. All right, guys, let's get to work. Let's have you guys spread out. I'll be with everybody in a minute. Allison, you stick with me. Look at her, like she's like perfect. I'm waiting. All right, so
Okay.
Yeah, hold your camera up.
I turn to 60. So perfect.
That's just a tree.
Keep looking. Hold it up so you can see stuff.
That's probably the car.
Uh-huh.
So. That's a tree. That's a tree. Still the tree.
Go to the corner a little bit.
The tree still. Doesn't help that there's 5 million trees everywhere.
Some of the places will be it won't have that. Pretty sure we're gonna go into a couple buildings or something too.
That's a tree again.
Let's go to this corner over here.
Mom. Oh boy. That's a tree.
It's not even picking her up.
Honestly, I am kind of scared. Matthew, did you hear something?
Kind of a whole lot of nothing. What happened to the mansion? That's what I'm looking for. That and I don't remember the other piece.
How did she die?
No, but
How old Was she when she died?
No, that's them.
Date. Date of some sort.
When did the mansion destroy or something like that? I think that's
Yeah, no, listen for your own thing.
No, if I see like something walking towards me, then I'm just gonna yell, "Oh, I found
No,
something!"
you're not. Let's go around the side of this dumpster. See anything over here?
In the dumpster? Nope. Why does this actually feel kind of creepy?
Not even to a creepy spot yet.
Oh,
It's just
That's a tree.
building stuff.
Are you Ed?
Uh-huh.
Have you gotten any crazy readings?
Mine's been in the 0.0 or yeah. Nothing.
Oh, that's Mom.
It says how will you are drop and roll. Run, little boy.
If you guys hear anything, that I'm gonna start sprinting to the car. You better be with me with the keys. Do you have the
Remember,
keys?
he's recording all this so he could show everybody. So you gotta make sure you're doing your job.
And it has to have the 3 dots. So. It's a figure.
Not unless it like walks like a human.
Okay. Okay.
0.7. That's as high as I've seen.
0.7.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe return it.
0.8.
Maybe return 0.8.
0.8.
Maybe return the aim for you.
All right. Any crazy numbers coming out of yours?
He had 0.8.
Okay, just so you know, up to 1.1 is natural from the earth. So that's why I usually go straight to the 2.5. Again,
Got it.
I almost don't want anything out of yours tonight, the way I have it set up.
Okay.
The spirit box. Where is Sarah?
Over there.
Three words, 3 or more words in a row. Like the most they've had is like Sue and Lou, but I don't know if
It says hello.
Yours did?
I'm pretty sure. I thought I heard it say hello on his. And over here is just a spot.
It's funny, I got the tool. It doesn't have to work.
Do you want to trade with me?
If it goes up high and he wants to get out, I'm staying.
The only thing that made sense to me after that whole thing is that was Big John's second birthday. But you're on the right track. Don't be afraid to tell me these things.
That's what I was like. Heard that one?
We're on the right track. I like specific things. So like the number 52, that's very specific to me. So again, if you heard the number 47, that's the year he got drafted. If you hear his birthday, which I don't know what year that is, you get the point. Like I want specific things. Generic pieces like the word football. John is good. That's what it stands for me.
This is creepy.
Do you like
Just
it?
the first spot, dude.
I know, but his. I'm not seeing anything.
Okay. Well, I'll walk with you whatever areas you want to go to.
Since all you do is look at the screen, if it gets higher than a 2.5, then like, you know, that's when you get a little scared. Okay.
I see a Matthew. I see a Matthew.
Do you see that?
Yeah, it's just, again.
That's a tree.
Yeah.
Maybe over here.
Whoa, that one was good. Did you see that one?
Yeah. Oh God.
No, stay. Stay. Stay.
Where did it go?
No, don't move it. If it goes up there, we gotta capture it. Let's go a little bit this way. Watch out, Matthew.
I think I just heard it say come, so I don't think I will.
There's something sitting.
Isn't that what that looks like?
Matthew, did you hear that?
I think it's the parking meter.
All right, try it again. Stop moving.
They're supposed to ask it to like move something
Like move your right arm.
if it has.
Yeah, it was. I think it just might be the shape of the back of that car with the pole there.
Yeah. Cause it looked like
Let's
something
go,
was
let's go
sitting.
this way and just try to get it from a different angle.
Zool. I feel like we have Ghostbusters. I just want Zool.
Spelled what? Yeah,
There's
it's just that pole, isn't it?
probably.
Yeah.
It was probably the pool in that box together. Okay. But that kind of looked like something.
It looked like there might have been something. And he went to drop it and run.
Who did?
You!
No, but that actually, it looked like someone that's over there. If I see anything, then I'm gonna take this with me and just fully sprint. You better have the keys. Do you have the keys with you?
I do.
Okay, good.
Better
Okay.
not leave me behind this, because I got the keys.
That's a tree.
Look over there again. See if it does anything different.
There's a map.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping also.
That's a tree. Okay.
Okay.
That was kind of freaky.
All right, Henry, what do you got, man?
Oh, I kind of saw something over there. It looked like it was standing and then sitting.
I think it's the pillar there.
Oh yeah, more than likely. That thing will also pick up shadows on the ground because it's an absence of light. So
Okay.
it thinks that there's somebody laying on the ground and it's just you. Kind of keep that in mind. But he's on the right path. Like he's looking for things. He's picking up the outlines.
Yep.
You know, you're gonna get a lot of outlines.
Just make sure you have it pointed up.
Yeah, we don't want footage of the ground. There you go. Keep it running that way.
Everybody's going to see this.
Nice and slow. I watch those in fast forward because it's much easier to find in a normal if I'm watching it the whole time. So again, the slower he moves, the better. I know it's gonna be hard.
I'll work on it with
him. But he's got it now. Like that's where we want it.
That's how you turn and stuff, all right? You hear me?
Yeah.
He doesn't want you turning.
Yeah, there's been like,
Over there it said come, and I decided not to.
yeah.
And then I heard it say don't stop in the song
Okay.
TikTok by Kesha, which was fun.
Right. So,
But
and that's
the
exactly what
lyrics,
you want,
of course,
is
yeah.
you want those lyrics to come through. So with beginner methods, I mean, we're going to be creating a giant hodgepodge of terms, which is what I'm writing down. And we just want to be able to have something to sift through. On your TV shows, they normally have those things going as fast as they can. You know what I mean? And you only get like one word every 5 minutes, and that's usually accurate to the space. Doesn't always work conductively when I do this 7 nights a week. I want you guys to hear a lot of things, and then I'll show you how they tie together if they do. So Sarah's
I'm
hearing quite a bit
gonna-
over there. Most of it didn't work.
I'm gonna kind of leave.
I don't always hear all the time, but I know why she heard it. So it's very significant, very cool stuff. So no, she actually heard a number, and I'll explain that. as we regroup. What you got going on over there?
Nothing.
Nothing? No letters at all?
No.
Nothing that you can make out, right?
Yeah.
Just looks like a prescription on there.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Or last name of a Russian person.
36. All right. I think that's time to wrap it. Let's because we got a lot going on here. Sarah, let's kind of regroup over here. Let's kind of go back to where we started.
Or you could walk over there and then you, I guess stop recording when we get to group together. Point over to the trash can.
All right, let's regroup. He's got a bag of garbage.
What are you doing?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get those cameras for that different heat and cold. So that kind of helps out with that. So here's what's going to happen in here. You're going to be looking for the specific letters of RI in that order. It's going to make a whole lot of sense once I start getting going, but I just wanted to give you the heads up ahead of time. EMF readers, so particularly Lily, you're going to be looking for anything above an 8 starting in here, just because we have some lampposts near us. So I would say with
I've
yours,
been at 2.5.
I would say like 3.5 for yours because it's not as sensitive. So again, 3.5 on his and 8 out of yours for sure. Just because those lampposts will influence us a little bit. So Matthew, you'll stay on mute while we're in here. When we start exiting the space, you'll go ahead and get unmuted again. So let's kind of get into this. Every ghost tour comes down here, guys. I actually wanted to take this out of my route because I do change this every year, but this guy keeps following me around. That's exactly why you heard welcome. So the guy knows I'm here. He follows us around from space to space. He actually shows up at the next location and our last stop, and I'll explain those things in the event he does that. We're hoping that he's going to show up at our next stop across the street.
Excuse me, I just got a 12.9 and then a 51.9.
51? Where was your phone?
My phone was right here.
May have been influenced by your phone. That 51 is extremely high for this space. So the highest I think I've ever seen in here. No, she's fine. She's fine.
Okay.
In my pocket.
Dad's like, give me the phone.
It's his phone.
Oh.
Yeah. It's not her phone.
Oh, I'm not leaving my phone to my teenager. That ain't happening. Nope. I'll end up with all kinds of things on my social media stuff that I didn't want there. So she's a smart ass. So anyway, this place is called Philadelphia Alley. So it used to be called Duelers Alley. This is where some of the duels used to occur for the city of Charleston. I say some because dueling was illegal, and they actually had to find hiding spots. This happened to be one of those hiding spots. So here's how this story goes, and again, every ghost tour tells you this story, but I'm going to give you some different details because you're going to need them because you're ghost hunting, you're not on the campfire, can't be cheesy ghost tour, right? So let's get into this. So, yeah, Henry, you're going to want like a view, almost if you want to just grab that top handle and like hold it down there. Like, yeah, there you go. That way we have a nice long view of the alley, so that way we get some good footage when we get back. Hopefully we're going to see a person walking towards us when I reveal it.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully so. That's why you're here, man. You're here to find them. Not here to run away from them. All right. He's like, wait a minute. I'm not really sure about this now. So, a doctor moves down here from Rhode Island. There's her first RI. Hopefully this will start to make sense. That doctor's name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. For the two ladies listening to the Red Spirit boxes, in the event that they hear the song Brown Eyed Girl, it's not coincidence. It's part of his name. We get it here all the time. So kind of keep that in mind. Dr. Ladd moves here from Rhode Island because he's supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda. Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her dead parents, and she has an attorney helping her out with all of this cash. The attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after Amanda's money, so he tells Amanda to get rid of the doctor. So he moves down here to Charleston to prove that he's not after her cash, and on his way into town, the doctor had a coachman that was bringing him in, and the coachman set him up to be robbed and killed. It wasn't a very good start to the doctor's stay here in Charleston. Somebody, which by the way, that's like having a really bad Uber driver for the younger people in our group. They drop you off and there's somebody there who's going to kill you. But anyway, somebody was walking by and seeing what was about to happen because he knew the coachman. The somebody walking by, his name was Ralph Isaacs. Do those initials sound familiar to you? RI. Same initials as where the doctor came from. So we've gotten the letters RI. That's the reason why we have that device. I bought it for this location specifically because we were getting it all the time on a regular spirit box and I wanted verification. In the year that I've had Allison's device, I've had RI show up whenever I bring up Ralph's name about 6 times now. So I've had it for about a year. So again, just giving you the stats of what to expect. But anyway, back to Ralph. He tells Doc, you don't want to stay here, dude. This guy's going to try to kill you. Come with me. I got friends at 59 Church Street. You can rent a room from them. You'll be safe and good to go. Doc took him up on the offer. The two gentlemen then became friends. The longer the doctor stays here in Charleston, the more money he's making. He's proving his point. He's not after Amanda's money. So he's making his own. Amanda gets wind of this and she's moving down so they could be married. Dr. Ladd then became known as the Whistling Doctor. Here's why I hate this story. It's a giant cliche. Every haunted city you're ever going to visit in the future is going to have a cliched whistling ghost. Ours just happens to be a doctor. There is some validity to this, which is why we're here. Let's move on of why they had a duel and why they were here. Dr. Ladd and Ralph go see plays together. They can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. That's the hierarchy of Charleston. The doctor gets better seats. So on the way home from seeing Richard III, they're arguing over the new actress that they just saw here in town. The doctor thought she was great and Ralph didn't. The argument then turns into Ralph insulting the doctor's fiance, Amanda, back home in Rhode Island. It got really ugly and they went their separate ways. Now, Ralph has friends around town. He goes to his friends at the newspaper and tells them to place an ad for him telling the whole city of Charleston what he thinks of the doctor. Kind of a you're a disgrace to society kind of BS. Doc saw this ad in the paper, but he rebutted with, let's go to Dueler's Alley. Somebody's gonna die. So they came down here, they took their 10 paces. By the way, this whole argument started over a stupid actress, and neither one of them even knew personally. Back to back, take 10 paces away from each other, they turned, the doctor pointed his gun in the air and shot his one shot. He didn't want to kill his friend, he just wanted the courage to show up to the fight, which is often what happened in a duel. But Ralph has his one bullet, he puts it in the kneecap on the doctor. Not the toe, the kneecap. Who had the word toe that showed up? I was like, yeah. So I was kind of like, oh, that's interesting. But anyway, Doc fell to the ground. His friends picked him up and took him home to 59 Church Street, where he died 10 days later after refusing medical treatment on November 2nd of 1786. I'll point out two things. First off, it is 1786. Gunshot wounds back then are a lot different than what we know of them now. Secondly, he is a doctor. He probably just tried to bleed it out himself because he thought he had lead poisoning, but he failed because obviously he died. Now, every ghost story that comes down here tells you to listen for the whistles. We're going to let these folks pass by it. Oh, excuse us, guys.
Does pot mean anything?
Pot? I don't think he smoked it.
Okay.
That's in my knowledge. Is what it is. I'll write it down. Toe pot. Who knows? Maybe it's a combo. Pato. Maybe they're trying to say potato.
I'm just getting really excited about.
Wait a minute. Let's think about that for a second. If she had the letter A mixed up in there somewhere, and we have pot and toe, that spells potato. Very interesting. Sorry. Big stretch, but I'm just playing with words right now. Thank you, everybody, for amusing me. I know, right? So every ghost story tells you to listen for those whistles while we're here. We have 2 cameras running. I'm not sure that Ace is still running, but we got this. And plus my voice recorder. In the event that we're going to actually hear a disembodied whistle, it'll show up on one of those 3 devices. But I won't say that on the red spirit boxes, we've had the word whistling part of a song, and then the word doctor immediately after, like from a commercial kind of mentality. We get it all the time, like dozens and dozens of times. It's part of the reason why I won't give up this space, because the guy just won't leave me alone. So if you're going to try this on your own, here's what I'm going to tell you too. I've been actually kicked out of here. Yeah, I'm going to tell you about that here in just a second, but we're also going to let this couple pass through. It's like the new the usher coming through.
It's got 6.
Sorry, excuse us.
Oh, you're good. The number 6, like spelled out. 6 pot toe, 6 potato. I don't know, something weird in there. That's a lot of words it's given us tonight. We don't normally see that many already. It's weird. Sometimes we don't get any. But if you actually try, listening for the whistles by walking through this on your own using the voice recorders from, Dad's phone, because she doesn't have her own right now, and just keep in mind that every local knows the story. Anybody walking up and down Queen Street or Cumberland, we all throw a whistle down the alley, me included, especially since I got thrown out of here. So let me kind of tell you about that, because that's exactly why it explains the next location. So here's what I'm going to tell you. The alley didn't go all the way through the way we came in. So there was a wall up there. The reason why is because this is where they kept the livestock for the city of Charleston before it was called Dueler's Alley. Before then, it was called Cow Alley. So we do get the word cow or beef or something along those lines. That's why this potato thing has got me stumped. So with that said, bricks on the other side are older than the bricks you're standing on. Those bricks down there are sun-dried bricks from slave children. There's a full handprint from a slave child down there and fingerprint swipes and others. I used to take my groups all the way through for a history lesson because there's nothing paranormal about it. Remember the way I treated Grave. That's the last place you're going to find that kid is standing near that brick. November 26th of 2020, my entire group of 10, same size as you guys, is huddled around that brick waiting for something to happen. I'm trying to shoo them along because I know nothing's going to happen, and also because we're outside the dining room window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. Not realizing that we were out of bounds, I was just trying to be respectful. The new owner of that mansion came out screaming. My daughter thought it was hysterical. She's on the tour that night. Her dad's getting yelled at. She's all about it. So the next day we moved on. The next day was Thanksgiving. I don't tour on Thanksgiving because I worked in upper management for Walmart for over 10 years, and you guys like to fight over towels and scarred me for life. So I don't work on Thanksgiving ever again. And Allison's looking at me like, wow, he's talking really fast and really angry about Walmart. Yes, damn right I am. 10 years of my life they took. But at any rate, so the next day I called my partner that I had at the time, and I told him what happened, and he laughed his ass off at me, just like my daughter did. He said, dude, you're only allowed to go down halfway, otherwise it's residential. You got to reroute your group. I have no idea what the hell this is coming down here, by the way. This is not this whistling doctor, for sure. This is like the screaming banshee girls coming through. And that's what it was like all night last night, by the way. Like, throughout the entire city. It was crazy. Like, just people screaming all the time. But anyway, so I told my team I don't believe in the next story because I'm into vampires, not pirates. Obviously, we're just going to be discussing pirates next. And I don't know what's going to happen over there because I've never had anything happen with my devices. However, somebody with a spirit box heard the name Anne on theirs before we left the space. I didn't tell them which pirate we were going to be investigating, the famous female pirate, Anne Bonny. So we're going to let this very large group pass through, and I'll continue why we're going on to the next space. Welcome.
This is an actual professional. Oh my god, you guys, are you getting an EVP?
They're all... You get stared at?
Is that good advertising? It's like an advertising.
It just depends. I have some people that look at me and go, they have equipment, like that kind of stuff. Before I was like super confident, like amongst like, we'll just say my peers, because I don't have a whole lot of friends in this industry. I was getting like the, what's going on with those guys? And he's like, oh no, that's the ghost hunter guy. That's, I'll get this, that, or the other. But I was in the newspaper last year, front page for Halloween, based on what I'm doing out here. And ever since then, all these other tour guides, like you guys seen that little fuzzy guy that I was like, hey, what's going on, buddy? Like they all recognize me now. So I was kind of like, all right, very cool, I'll take it. I know, right? So back to why we're going to the next location. We get over there, I told them what I didn't know about pirates, which wasn't much at the time, and somebody else with a spirit box heard the number 300. I don't know what that one means. I wrote it down, I do the research for them. We were there November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy was November 28th of 1720. We were there on the exact 300-year anniversary of her pirate trial. So I was convinced that I needed to continue going back. However, that was a problem for me, and I was actually quite pissed off because as a writer, I need facts and data to be able to put things together. Pirate stories come from pirate lore, which means that was written 100 years after the golden age of piracy, the days of Blackbeard. So there's more books on pirates than I've read than I ever wanted to in my entire life, just to try to make sure that what we're finding over there is legitimate. It is a roll of the dice if she'll be there at the same time we are, but hopefully we're going to get things relevant to Dr. Ladd over there as well. So, at the gate before we leave, I know I talk a lot over here and we had a lot of interruptions, but I'll be quick. A lot of people don't know why this gate is actually here, but it shows the extent of my research. The wall was up here, which means you couldn't go all the way through in the event that there was a loser to the duel. Otherwise, they have to, basically, if there's a loser there, they would come through here to get to the cemetery on the other side of the wall. They got to go all the way down to Queen Street and then double back around to go drop off the dead body. The wrought iron that you guys see was probably put there in the early 1900s, but you can see that the archway is definitely part of the original wall, because that's why it was put there, was so they could take the losers of the duel to the cemetery, because the cemetery was always there. So, you guys ready to learn about some rated R pirates?
Sure.
Hopefully not so many interruptions over there. And nobody got my dad joke. Awesome. So I'm going to throw another even worse one at you. If the letter R is not a pirate's favorite letter, what is it?
C.
It must be the C. Good job. Love it. Now, I got a better answer last week. Somebody said, "Aye!" And I'm like, oh, that's bad. Like, so. I'm going to go through the rowdy group.
Turn it off.
Super awesome.
Turn it off.
Yep. Until we get to the next spot.
EMF, just so you guys are kind of forewarned about this location, I expect zeros out of both devices. The closer you get to that wall, like the set of bushes over there, we do have parking meters on the other side, 2 electrical poles that are a little bit lower that will give you like a 4 to a 6. So I normally get excited about a 2.5 or higher on this back half. So kind of keep that in mind. The highest I've ever seen this location go is only up to 12. So again, we don't expect a whole lot of EMF out of here. This is a weird space. I've already told Ed, like these devices, like a natural EMF is up to 1.1. Like we should always have a little bit of something going on, but you're probably at flat zeros right now, am I correct? Yeah. 0.0? It's just the weirdest thing. This is an odd space. So let's kind of get into this history. I'm going to breeze through this one because there's a lot here. I will slow down on some of the piratey twists because there's a lot of those. But I will speed through everything else so we can actually get back to work.
I just got AL.
What was it?
A-A-A-L.
I don't think I wrote down what all the things that you had from the other location either. So pot, toe, and then what was the other one? 6?
Yes. I don't have ale. Oh, ALE down there.
Nice.
ALE. Yeah, because it started over. Yeah.
So that would definitely be a piratey term because they're not going to call it beer. I like it. We're on the right track. And then Donna heard some like Spanish music on the way here. So again, that would kind of make sense. We're going to be talking about Caribbean islands. So you guys notice the little building over there with the crosses on it?
Yeah.
Those are not crosses. Those are earthquake bolts. If you don't know what those are, they're turnbuckles. In the event we have another earthquake, like what we did in 1886, you can turn them in opposite directions. It'll tighten the building so it doesn't incur any further damage. It's a great idea. It just doesn't work. The only reason I bring them up is because you guys have been seeing them all over town. The apartment building behind it, the brick building, has them on every single floor, and you guys have been seeing them in the shape of pine apples and lion heads and all kinds of craziness. So the only reason I bring up the big crosses is because it's actually part of the reason of why we're here. Those are the first set of earthquake bolts that Charleston ever put in. The reason why that building itself is the gunpowder magazine. It's a museum now, but that is the oldest government building in South Carolina. It was finished in 1713. So we are here because that building was being built at the same time and Bonnie was coming here to start her new life. This is what I call a familiar. For those of you that watch the TV shows and YouTubers, they use a device called the Boo Buddy. That's a teddy bear with the little blinky light K2 meter in there, so if a child comes near it, it goes, ooh, that tickles, and it's super creepy, and we all hate that thing. But anyway, think of that concept of the toy being familiar with this building. We don't have many buildings this old, so the hope here is that she's going to be here at the same time we are. So again, it's a 50-50 roll of the dice, and of course, ghosts aren't on the payroll, so nothing is ever guaranteed as far as finding evidence. But I feel like you guys are getting some little things, so we're going to see what happens. The building took 10 years to build. Does that sound like our government? Small building, 10 years? No, not at all. Thank you for laughing. Appreciate that.
When you're moving it, okay?
Now, our history begins right in the middle of its construction. So 1708. So kind of follow me at the very beginning. There's a slight twist. A young lady moves here from Ireland. Her name is Anne Cormack. She comes here with her father and his mistress. The mistress is Anne's mother. Everybody with me so far?
Mhm.
All right, okay. So I got some blank faces. I'm like, okay. So the three of them are running away from her father's angry wife. How mad was the wife that she kicked them out of the damn country? And there's no planes, guys, so be nice to your ladies. Get the point? Nice. She'll kick you all the way up to Canada. And we have planes. Now, with that said, they landed in Georgetown. That's between us and Myrtle Beach. So Dad bought a plantation up in Georgetown, and Mom died pretty quickly once they got here. That means Dad now has to send young Anne here to sell things from the plantation up there to keep things afloat. Hence the familiar building. Now, Anne back home in Ireland. We're going to take a step backwards for just a split second. They say she was a badass even when she was a little girl. They say when she was only 7, 8, 9 years old, just picture somebody Henry's age, that killed a servant with a knife to the belly. Like, again, that's serious. So, again, just like to give you her mentality as we move through her story. The building's done in 13, but by 1715, pirates are starting to come through Charlestown. Anne is stoked. Reason why? She's going to fall in love with one of these guys so she can earn her freedom, just like a man. It's a man's world during these times. The first guy she fell in love with, I said that slowly because there's a handful of these gentlemen, and we're going to talk about every single one of them. The first guy is James Bonny. You already know where this one's going. I told you her pirate name already. Dad didn't approve because he's a filthy pirate. So they ran away to Jamaica. They got married. Anne Cormack is now Anne Bonny. That's where her pirate name came from. However, she realizes when she gets down to her new husband is not the Captain Jack Sparrow that she was hoping for. This guy turns out to be a privateer, which means he's a spy for the British. He's a coward. This isn't who she wants. She falls in love again. Guy number 2. This is John Rackham, but everybody calls him Calico Jack. This is the guy they based your Johnny Depp character off of, in case you were wondering. He's a real person. Calico Jack has his own ship and he has his own crew. You can't put a female on a pirate ship. Does anybody know why?
Bad luck.
It is. Thank you for keeping it family friendly. Appreciate that. I get a lot of raunchy answers to that. Now, just also like to make sure everybody's paying attention. That's why I throw that question back at you guys. Good job, Nate. So, it is bad luck. So he makes a deal with her. If you dress like my crew and look like my crew, you could be part of the crew. She's okay with this because Dad used to cross-dress her as a boy apprentice back home in Ireland to hide her from his wife. She knows it's a man's world. But most of us are adults here. Let's put 2 and 2 together. She is a female in Jack's quarters. She's eventually going to get pregnant. You cannot have a pregnant pirate dude on the crew. Somebody's going to figure out that she's a girl. Before she starts the show, he drops her off in Cuba. Have the baby here. These are friends of mine. Come back later and we'll figure it out. She goes and has that baby but returns without a child. We have no idea what happened to the baby. None of my research has ever found it. Now, she also comes back dressed as a female. This makes Jack pretty pissed off. And everybody's going to know he let a girl on a ship and they'll vote him off as captain. You guys get the point because there is a democracy on every ship. To make Jack even more mad, she's going to go flirting with the pirate crew he just captured. They're down below deck. We're on guy number 3 in case anybody lost track. Guy number 3 turns out to be a female, dressed like a guy to be part of the crew that Calico Jack just captured. Now we have 2 females, just like males, on the same ship. Her name, Mary Reed. She went by Mark Reed to become her pirate. Now, Mary and Anne became friends for sure, maybe lovers, we're not really sure because of the time frame. But the British find out where they are and they send a whole fleet of ships to come take down one pirate ship. Rumor is that Anne and Mary were the only 2 pirates not drunk enough to come up and fight with 1 bullet flintlocks. They don't know how to use cannon jets because they haven't been pirates very long. Obviously, 2 ladies with 1 bullet guns cannot take on a whole fleet of Navy ships. They get arrested. As they're being arrested, Anne looks at her captain and bow and she says, "Jack, I'm sorry to see you here, but if you would have fought like a man, you wouldn't be hanged like a dog." The word dog shows up on your communication devices all the time. Now, the judge wants to see the 2 quote-unquote men that fought back so valiantly on their own. He's already tried and hung Calico Jack and the drunken pirates that wouldn't fight. They're dead and gone. The 2 ladies go in front of the judge and reveal their gender. They're hoping to save themselves. The judge doesn't give a damn that they're female. They're still pirates. He's still going to hang them. They scream out, "We plead our bellies," because they're claiming to be pregnant. You can't hang a pregnant woman in 1720. It's illegal. He sends them both back to jail and delays the hanging. Dad is still up here in South Carolina with all of his Irish money. He bails out Anne and brings her home. She remarries. That's husband number 2, but guy number 4, because we're going to count Mary because we're not really sure. She has 4 kids and dies at the age of 84. Very abrupt ending because we don't know anything about her after her pirate career that's actually fact. So I don't like to spread rumors, so we'll kind of see how this goes. Mary Reed died 5 months later in that jail from whatever pirates die from in a Jamaican jail. Use your imagination. Most books will tell you that it was fever. I say make it romantic, call it scurvy. Why the hell not? Now, I'm not going to control this environment like what I did at the Pinckney Mansion site because, again, this is a kick-ass female pirate. Normally say if you guys have some tobacco and rum with you, have a good time with it, you'll probably attract Anne Bonny even closer. Here's what I left out of the story. And Ed's like, cool, I brought my rum. Now, I left out a few things just so you had something to work with as far as the communication devices. I did not tell you the names of Anne Bonny's parents. That's the father and the mistress. I do that on purpose so that way you guys can ask. I also didn't tell you where Anne grew up in Ireland, the name of Calico Jack's ship that Anne joined, and the color of Anne Bonny's hair. Everything else that you would ask is fair game. Again, kick her in the shins if you have to. Normally with this location, I say ask whatever you want to. Nothing is, I can't always prove everything, but nothing is off limits. So kind of take that for what it is. So we are going to spread out. Let's have a good time. Hopefully we hear from Dr. Ladd too. Let's do it.
Awesome.
When we started, I got 1,500.
Sarah's going to show everybody else the work besides the guy who needs to write it down. Why are you so timid toward me? One guy.
Sure, watch that. There's a hole right there. You having fun, buddy?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Oh, that's just the sign. That's the sign.
Is it?
See?
Yeah. Where you want to walk to next? You want to go to the front corner?
I just saw it. It looks like someone's kicked. Dad, look.
Matthew's walking back there.
No. It looks like someone's door again. I kind of just want to sit here.
That was funny. Let's keep moving. We
I love that. It looked
They
like
just had
some.
a very large human figure. But it looked like they were like.
It said come. It said come to me.
Did it?
Yeah.
Come to me. Come to me.
Scardy, come to me.
What's going on?
You seem to be way more calm now. Like, I was worried about you.
That's just a
It's always
post.
the poles, right?
Mhm. I haven't really picked up something. The only thing that I'm kind of suspicious about was the person. It looked like someone was sitting. That's the tree.
It's the trees.
I love it. It looks like they're going, I'm taking a poo-poo.
Oh, let's go. Try to find stuff.
Are your eardrums bursting?
Ah, party. Second one.
Party time.
Wow.
SLS.
It sounded like
Country music.
Is this the last place?
I don't think so. I think we got one more at least.
Okay.
Do you want it to be over?
No.
Okay.
I want to keep going. I have an itch.
Material Girl, those kind of things will pop through. One of the most significant things I have out of this location is I actually had two DJs talking. They were both females, and it said they think we're guys, and they both burst into laughter. Like, it was hysterical. Just things that just stand out to you. Yeah, it was like 3 years ago that I still remember that one specific thing that popped up. So, all kinds of weird shit. And obviously no numbers coming out of yours.
I'm sorry, dude. Do you want to switch?
I'll switch.
Actually, if you want to take, because I have it on like a different level of that right now, so if you want to go back this way, yours should match.
Do you want me to
what
take that kid
she
out?
has going on right
Okay.
now. I normally worry about the danger EMF, mainly just at the Pinckney Mansion, because I know that thing can get out of control. So that's why I preset it that one if we're going to use it to what's going on at that location. But yeah, now yours should be matching hers.
Okay.
Should be. And she's already had a 3.9, which is actually exciting in this location.
I had 1.5 when I was towards the
Yep.
front here.
Yep, that's by the damn parking meters.
Oh, it's a part of the St. Philip Church teacher.
Looking.
Henry, do you want me to switch you?
I don't care. It's up to you.
I'm trying to give you options.
Go back to mowing. She looks like she's shaking her butt.
That's a shadow.
Yeah, he said I'll do shadows too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, damn it. She looks so short and tall. Her neck looks like it's... Okay, that's a little freaky.
Alright. It's like out of a scary movie. The bells are going off in the background.
A hangman just jumps out of a tree. That was probably Matthew. Everything looks like a hangman. Like, look at that. Looks like it's hanging onto a leaf. It's like, hi, buddy, come wait. Just come jump down.
Don't. The giant person again.
Hey.
Remember, don't be doing the quick turns. Doing nice, nice like that. Yeah.
It's the big person again.
The big person again.
I'm gonna go to Matthew. That was the big person again. It's the cross. Mm-hmm. By the way, I'm probably not gonna end up sweeping today.
Uh-oh. Really?
Yeah.
What do we have?
I looked at it, I had a 3.8, and I checked if my phone was like near it. Then I look at it again, and it's a 7.3.
87. 87. What was the second one?
3.8. 7.
Holy cow. That's actually quite like this. I'm stoked like for that because we don't see that here. Now you got a bunch of stuff going on.
Well, I'm just because it said SVN and she said 7, and I ended up at my thinking. Like, is she?
It does. So the 7 actually shows up in multiple capacities at this location. So in the event that somebody else hears another 7, like I would want it like spelled out. I kind of see where you're going with that. But Dr. Ladd's too. Dr. Ladd. Yeah. Poor guy. Dr. Ladd's birthday is July 7th, so 7/7. So we normally get double 7s, and that's him. John Calhoun, your 7th vice president, is buried on the other side of that wall, and the powder magazine served in 7 different wars. And so again, sometimes you see 7 wars, sometimes you see 7 president, or we'll see 7/7. So the secondary clue always signifies where is it coming from. So again, here last night, I swear I can't make this shit. I'm excited because it's a pattern.
Those crosses on the powder magazine are simply larger word. Why they built the name so much different, I don't know. It does break up the blank space. As we get closer to the
Big person again.
Big boy.
Big dancer.
Way. Shadow. You shadow.
Yeah. Watching the Pope again.
Does this have a lot of fruit?
No.
No? It's probably.
So I got 2 up front, and then back here it's like a half. You can have this back whenever you want. I just didn't know if you wanted to hang out, help him with this thing. So, buddy.
There's really nothing on this.
Boo.
There's a rock. I'll probably each one to you.
It's just the structure.
Yeah. No. Everybody's over there. Let's go see what's happening.
It's not, man.
Huh?
It's in.
What's them?
All the words that came out of that thing, like we had like 4 or 5 terms. I have them all written down. Awesome. Change terms. All right, everything's involved. We got this. Perfect. Henry, our ghost name is Henry. Okay.
Wait, what?
Yeah, our ghost name is Henry. I'm not talking to you.
I don't like this.
Okay. Yeah.
No, it's just this Henry.
Oh, you don't like your name, Henry?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna see if you can use me. Not you. So,
Alright.
Alright, just sit there. Okay.
Henry, if you're here, can you please tell us something about your occupation? Henry, I got 2 ladies on the bench that can hear what you want us to hear.
23.
And I got a gentleman here also named Henry who can see whatever you want us to see. He's using the green box tonight. So Henry, can you tell us something about your occupation, please? Start off things nice and simple. Henry. Henry. If somebody else is here, can you just give us your first name so we know how to identify you? We know we can't see you.
Oh god.
What do you got?
No, 24.
Don't get me excited, dude. You guys can record this. Like, this is a trip. Henry Timrod, I need you to come forth.
Angel.
Henry Timrod, can you give us something about your occupation to verify that you're here? Henry? If somebody else is here, can you please let us know who it is so we can address them too?
Oh, I see something.
What you got?
There's farm animals, a person with no face, and then the farm animals have no head, body, or tail. Well, they have a body.
Okay. Pretty creepy one.
No kidding.
Yeah. Oh God.
22, baby.
What do you got?
Black. Just nothing.
So the galaxy went away?
No.
Who's John? You don't know who John is? I'm looking for Henry Timrod.
Oh God.
Dr. Ladd will show up here, guys, from time to time because the house he lived in is right around the corner, and he loves to show off during the session. So, Dr. Ladd, if you're here, please give us your first name or something specific about you. And you also know what the code word is to kind of identify yourself.
There's a bunch of triangles.
So triangles.
Mary.
No, Mary is actually a murder mystery that I tell during the week over on that corner. So she likes to come through on this as well. So sometimes it's me deciphering who the hell do we actually have. So Mary Ravenel, it's you. I need something else besides your first name. Let's verify that it's you, please.
Do you have something going on?
No.
Sign. No reason. You know he's gonna have a job with me later. That's right.
Basketball.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
She said basketball.
Thank you. Henry, Dr. Ladd, Mary Ravenel. I need more specific clues. We're not getting a whole lot right now, so if you can really push through, ID yourself. Then we know who we're addressing. I'm specifically looking for Henry Timrod. I know Henry is not always happy with me being here. I really thought that they would be like blasting me with words right now. What's going on with our Ouija board? Anything?
Nothing.
Okay, I would do a hard reset.
Okay.
Henry, let's push through, buddy. Can you give us something about your occupation, please? Henry, I don't know what these animals are, but little Henry was seeing. If you can tell us about that, that would be fantastic. I think Sarah's getting like a little nervous. This is why I don't write anything down. I stay focused on exactly. Henry, we're gonna run out of time before we get a lot of messages. I mean, we've already been under for 7 minutes. We only got 3 minutes left. Donna fell asleep. She hasn't moved a muscle. Henry, anything at all that you would like to channel through these ladies to let us know?
I did not.
We've had 4 conversations in the past. Trying to make it nice and easy tonight by just asking about your occupation. You're blindfolded. Henry, can you give us another image through the green box? If you'd like us to go home, just say the word home.
4.5. Stand. 0.5.
Is somebody struggling to kind of come through? Is that what's happening here? That's a yes, no question. We're not going to extend the phone. Did you?
When you asked the guy why. Ed.
Henry, no other images?
Little Henry, do you see anything?
No, just a
Thank
bunch
you.
of triangles appearing. Oh, I see an image.
What is it?
It's just a bunch of red moving, and it's like white around and dark red, and it just keeps moving, and like lines.
Let me ask you about the red. Does it look like blood or a liquid?
Yes.
She said the word disease at the same time.
Oh my lord.
Ed.
Henry, can you tell us how you died? Look for the initials TB, obviously. Henry, how did you pass away?
Never sleeping again.
SIK just appeared. As your
Like sick?
Island.
How much longer?
Probably about 2 more minutes.
Oh, there's nothing anymore.
He's alive.
Yes, he is.
Henry, we're going to be calling this a night. Can you tell us good night? You're really sweet.
Oh.
Henry, one last chance. Going once. Can you tell us good night? feel nothing. Just gonna tap them out. Henry, go ahead and feel that thing off your face,
Oh
buddy.
god.
Thank you for not scaring them. First off, nobody get up. I don't need baby giraffes falling on the ground. How long do you guys think you were under?
Like 14 minutes.
Well, you heard the timer. How long do you think you were under? What did it feel like? Just 10 minutes. Just like almost to the dot. 11:11 at this point. Most people will say that this feels